Everybody, I'd like to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. As is our custom, we like to open up our meetings in the Pledge of Allegiance. And this morning, I've asked Patricia Burton if she'd be so kind just to open us up with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you all stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item then on the agenda will be the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. You gentlemen all received a copy of those. If you see any changes or what will be your pleasure?
Motion to approve them. Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We've got next item on the agenda then will be our old business, and we have one item in old business, and that will be opening of sealed bids for Peters, I think, is that this morning?
It is from Mobile Communication Service, and grand total is
We need to have a motion to accept this bid for.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed?
Just,
on March 14th at 7:50.
does this need to be approved today, Stacy, or do you need to look at it and bring it back to us now to make sure it meets the specs, or?
We can get a committee together now to look at it, or if you're not in a big rush, we can.
Rather it goes, it's kind of like time limited out there.
If it's time limited, go ahead and look at it now.
We would then, Dan, would you and Leslie and Stacy?
What was that amount again, BJ?
38.
It is $38,307.66.
Do that, make sure it meets our specs and. Next item on the agenda will be our new business, and we have a few items on our new business. The first thing we have is a resolution relating to our health department. Summarize that for us, please.
Basically, it says it's a resolution by the Pulaski County Fiscal Court allowing the Pulaski County Health Department to implement a harm reduction program, including syringe exchange in accordance with KRS 218A.510.
Basically, what we have here, I'll further summarize that, is our district health department has made a resolution, local health department has made a resolution, I guess it's up to the county and the city to have resolutions to implement what, it's a needle exchange program. Basically, it's an epidemic we're fighting here in Kentucky, mostly Eastern Kentucky, which we are on the outskirts of. But what this resolution does, it tries to prevent the spread of hepatitis C and AIDS, HIV virus. And basically, these people are addicts, and what they're doing now is they're getting their needles, they're sharing needles. After they're done, they're disposing of them, filling them down. We're trying to encourage these people not to share needles. We're trying to encourage them not to throw needles down. So if they take a dirty needle, they can bring to the health department, no penalties, no questions asked, trade it. We're not trying to prevent drug use, so to speak, but we are trying to prevent disease. We hope, though, through this program that people will be encouraged to seek drug counseling and maybe come off of their addictions. But right now, this is all about trying to control the spread of disease here in Kentucky, and especially in
Is there anything, if they bring so many needles in, that they have to go to counseling or anything?
I don't think that stipulation's on there, Glenn. We've got some representatives from the health department. Have I summarized that okay? Would you all like to?
You've done an excellent job. It would be,
This is been extensively discussed at both at the local and district level. My name is Dr. Pulaski. Some of you may not know me. I've been around for goodness knows how long.
Would you come up to the microphone here, please?
Yeah, I come here. I've been in Somerset. I've had the pleasure and the honor of providing service for Pulaski and surrounding counties for over 43 years. So the problem is, the judge is correct. We have an epidemic of Hep C plus AIDS. And it's not a moral decision some of you may have. They say, well, people need to take responsibility for what they do and why we should provide services, or are we encouraging the risky behavior of some of these folks? That is not the judgment that we recommend. We just do it on a one-to-one basis. You bring the needle in and you get a needle. And plus we have a kind of hopefully to get some counseling so that they modify their behavior. We may or may not be successful. Syringe the same. And unfortunately, these people, needle are used and reused and thrown away. And sometimes children go and play this and then get stuck with the needle. And as you know, if we are not going to prevent the disease, we hope at least this disease will not spread from sharing the needle. That's all it is. And it's a question of economics. You think about the treatment of Hep C and as well as AIDS, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And unfortunately, the drug epidemic has ruined many lives and many families. To such an extent, a lot of young people who unfortunately no longer with us, family actually put the reason for the death of a young one to be sure that the people don't think that they had AIDS or Hep C. And I do hope the fiscal court, we have been extensively discussed, it's a lot cheaper to provide them with this clean needle and syringe than try to treat them. And when you think about the treatment, I understand these people frequently have no insurance. They come go to the emergency room, use the facilities, and the cost of the treatment is passed to you and I who are paying and going to the hospital and use these facilities. Nothing in life is for free. So I do hope in your wisdom you also allow us to start this program. And I thank you for you.
So you are going to try to do some counseling when they come in?
Yeah,
correct?
hopefully, yeah.
You're going to offer it to them or tell them where they
It will
can
be
get it or
offered, whether
whatever?
they take it or not, no guarantee.
there are several components that will be included in the syringe exchange program. Counseling, testing, we hope to have some naloxone available, training, so there's several components that will be intertwined into a program.
Yeah. Thank you.
Judge, I'll make a motion, we do this.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept this resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Record, let's do a roll call since there's a split vote.
Yes.
Urban,
No. Yes.
Maxey,
Yes.
Yes.
Carries. Next item then on the agenda will be county clerk excess fees. Would you like to address that?
Joan's ready for the check already before I even get up
Yes.
here. No, I would like to thank, first of all, the county. We had a very good year this year again. We have, I kind of go over the beginning receipts balance here, $19,206,732.26. And our total year-to-date disbursements were $18,386,900. $371,618.14. So that leaves in excess of your, excuse me, this morning. The excess fees of $835,114.12. And I would just like to thank our county people who have participated in this, because when they come and record their deeds, when they do their vehicle registrations, all of this is taxpayer money. So in handing this over, we kind of keep in mind that it is used to further
Better our county.
better our county, yes. And that's all due to the taxpayers out there, so.
Now, is that up from last year? Is that what you said?
Yes, this is 2016, and it is up. I didn't look at the total, but it is up some. And we are so blessed in this county, because I hear a lot of county clerks in other counties in our meetings that are struggling. They're not doing as well as Pulaski County is, so I really think that our taxpayers and our public should be appraised for that. So, and I'd also like to thank my staff in taking care of all this, because without them, this wouldn't be possible either. So I'd like to thank them for doing such a good job.
We appreciate the service you provide the county. You all have a great staff, so
We do, and I love my job. I like what I do, and this is just one of those things that comes with it. So there's all kinds of perks, and this is one of them. So thank you, and I'd like to give this check, if you will, in the amount of $835,114.12.
Motion to receive that?
Motion.
I don't remember.
I mean, motion. I'm kind of choked up too when I hear them figures.
Do we typically take a motion to receive that?
Accept excess fees.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Linda, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
do an awesome job.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, gentlemen, I'm gonna break our agenda here, and since this is unexpected good news, I want to discuss something that you all are aware of, that we've been dealing with, and with our Alzheimer's Center. And we have committed, I guess, to giving some of our coal severance money, which we don't know the amount yet, right, Joan? Do we know the amount of that coal severance money that we had pledged?
6,000.
That's a little bit, but I want to see if we can help them get through the end of their fiscal year. As a county court, now it's open for discussion, but, you know, if we have this money that's unexpected and over what we got last year, I would like to see us help them out with a pledge to help them through the
I
end of
talked
the
to
year.
Tommy Turner there yesterday too, and he's wanting us to help him out. He was wanting to know if we could do something with more coal service money in the future. I don't know how much we're getting, but I told him I would take a hit on our coal service money. He's wanting to know if we would dedicate more to it, try to keep that place open long-term instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it.
He's got if I'm not mistaken, he's got a bill proposed right now. Did it?
They threw it out.
They threw it out.
You know, the ad center stopped it. I mean, we pulled some money from the ad center, making it put money into it, and they stopped that deal. He told me yesterday. So that's not gonna work, and he wants to get with us one day next week, a couple of us, and work on a solution for it, if we could.
What about their closing date?
May 5th is what they originally said they were going to close.
He
Their fiscal year, I guess, just like ours, it starts in July 1.
thinks we can keep them to July anyway, with this extra money, this whole service money, and maybe find some more money. Try to keep them to July, that way we got to July to try to fix it.
And something that I'll add is, and I've spoke with Joan and some of you all, what's amazing about that is, understanding is, there is a difference from month to month, exactly what their need is. It can be as less as a few $1,000s, and it just depends upon the services, because they offer a service for those that can't speak on the behalf of themselves. You know, and you're over there, and you all have provided them a beautiful building. And we talk with them every day, but, you know, there's a gap, and that varies from month to month. And that's the only thing that I've talked with Joan about is we just got to fill that gap, you know, until, as the judge says, until Frankfurt gets their house in order.
I'll just say too, we've done the lion's share of supporting that building. If you look at the,
We put our money into it.
provide.
They can switch over to a medical thing and get funded from it.
Here's.
The board don't wanna do that.
Here's some of the issues, as I understand them. The way that's set up as an Alzheimer's respite center, they don't take the medical model because they are treating clients that are highly functioning Alzheimer's.
But if they take
They
the medical,
require daycare, basically.
if they take the medical, the funding is there, they can keep getting funded from the state.
Then there's,
The board rejected it.
then I think there's other requirements that they can't treat these people that they're treating.
Oh, they can't treat the
They'll
one.
have to be more advanced in their disease, then they'll require full-time health staff. It's a whole different model. We do have a third, medical model, I think, that is in the process of opening up at the old Dunbar Center. So we've already got two currently, and we're gonna have a third one serving the medical model, but we only have the one that does the rest of the care, which is basically
Makes
a
sense.
break for the families to drop them off to have socialization while they go and run errands. So that's the importance of this service, and I understand, it's a medical condition like any other medical condition, and, you know, everybody has needs like this. You know, I've got a niece who's paraplegic, and my sister has to stay with her, and there's nowhere that she can drop her off like this. So it's a service that's needed everywhere, not just Alzheimer's, but we do have the facilities for that, and like I said, we put the line sharing, we provided the building, we provided the utilities, we provided the maintenance. I think we totaled up, Joe and I talked about around 100,000, maybe a little more than 100,000 a year we put towards this. And I think the city has been putting 25,000 towards this. I think the state, through the ad agency, has been giving 85,000. So we're doing the majority of it. But they are at a situation where they're getting ready to close the doors, and, you know, like I said, I don't want to put a Band-Aid on it. I'd like to fix it long-term, but we need to start thinking about that. Dr. Plaza, you say something?
This is a kind of I run by the Alzheimer's Center just about every day. It's a beautiful building. As some of you may or may not know, I'm personally affected by a person who has dementia and Alzheimer's. And I've been fortunate to be able to provide the help necessary but you know, it's a disease which unfortunately affects everybody. And I think if it is possible to find a fund so that the family can have a break, this is a 24/7, at least, as you said, to go shopping, to do something, at least to refresh mentally and physically, to be able to take care of their loved ones at home with the help of Alzheimer's Center. And I think if we find any way, even if it requires increase in taxes, I mean, that's, I know, very no-nos anymore. I understand, but I mean, you know, somebody has to pay for it. We are not like a federal government, we don't print money. But I think it's worthwhile, and it is really a very humanitarian and a wonderful service that you can provide for everybody in Pulaski County. And we should be proud of that center. It's beautiful. And it will be unfortunate if the place closes because of lack of funding. That's all. Since it's been personally affected, I kind of thought I might.
Everybody on this court, I'll brag on everybody on this court that you all have been supportive, and I think we've been very supportive, but, you know.
How short are they? Does anybody know?
100,000, they say they need
It's-
100,000.
They originally had a grant several
Year?
years ago. And they've been drawing off that grant based upon the need. As their funding fell short, they reached over here and got some out of the grant. So that grant has run out. And so what has been presented to us, and that's where we provide a beautiful building. You all provide a beautiful building.
Yes.
But I don't know that if the public understands, there's two entities there. There's a senior citizen center on one side that provides opportunity for, you know, I have family members that go there. They eat lunch,
Yeah.
Then the other side is the Alzheimer's. And we go over there and see, and I see some of my former teachers that I had in school and that's there, and they're taking care of their loved ones, but they also need to go and drop them off, have someone that's licensed to take care of them while they go pick up medication, or they even work a part-time job so they can keep their loved ones there. But we have to, you know, and I say this is we're looking at not just finishing this fiscal year, but next fiscal year, because that gets Frankfurt where they can put more money in when they finish their budget year. So it's not just this
That's what Tommy
fiscal
said.
year.
Tommy said that next year they'll work on their budget, he could help more. So we gotta do something in July.
Yes, and, you know, and folks, and I say that, and as well as the judge, you know, we need to speak for those that can't speak for themselves.
That's right.
You know, that if, you know, even if we look at it, there's 4 or 5 jobs that people that work there. Not only does that affect jobs, but it also affects people like, for example, if I take my mother there, I work a part-time job. I won't be able to have that part-time job, for example. It's a bigger entity than I think our community realizes.
So they need another 100,000 from us, is that?
I don't think it would take that much to get through the end of the year. I think probably 20,000 would get them through.
Get them till July.
To July.
To July. That's what we need to work on right now, is getting them to July. And then when we get that in place, then we'll start working on something.
Between now and then, we need to start thinking how we can,
Next year's budget, we need to
Long-term
try to figure out a
solution.
little more for them.
Tommy was wanting to know if we was in favor of taking some more coal servants money out and helping this next fiscal year, until he can do the budget.
When we,
into our parks, because we depend on coal severance for a lot of our.
That's what he said, we're gonna take a lot, have to take some of our parks out, that we're spending on parks. And put in there.
well, and that's my question too. Of course, there, as we all know, there are 2 different coal severance monies. Is it the coal impact that we get in our LGEA, or the LGED that we have been using for the special projects? Which money are we speaking of?
It's the D. It's.
Either
yes.
one.
Either one is what he told me, we could use either one, if we was in favor of it.
I'm sorry, Mike, there's a shortfall to get to the end of to this fiscal year, somewhere between 12 and can be no more than $20,000 to $25,000. And so the D monies as additional monies that was borrowed against years ago, our allocation is 6,000 we get back. That's not earmarked towards anything. So therefore, you know, that was the resolution given on that additional.
Correct.
So that cuts that down to 12. So really, you're only looking somewhere between 12, 15,000 to finish this fiscal year.
And that's not really what I was thinking, more of the long term on the coal money. Is it the LGED, which is the special project that we have been doing, like on the parks, et cetera, or
That's the money he wants to use.
that's the money he wants to use? Okay. What would those special projects that have gone elsewhere?
This is more
We've got
important
one
than
special-
anything we might do in a park.
I
just to
agree.
Keep this thing open.
I
We've got
do.
one special project right now that we've not done.
That we've not touched.
I believe it's $35,000.
Correct, it is. Mount Victory.
Victory Park, buying some land and starting that park. And I believe the Alzheimer's Center is more important than that park.
Is Tommy okay? I mean,
Tommy
Tommy's
wants
the
to
one
do
fired
that.
whole thing up.
Tommy's the one that asked me about doing this.
Is it the
talk
35,000
history
we
for a
talked to
long
him
time.
about the other day?
Yes, yes.
You talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
and there's 35,000 in that pool that we can get. If the court
Yeah, if
wanted
you
to
all,
drop the park, the Mount Victory Park project.
But then
and put
again,
that
that's a one-time pool, so it's not an
Then-
ongoing solution.
But then he's wanting to pull some more of that park money for next year that we spend on parks and see if we can, he said if we can fix next year, then he'll find money in the budget to ongo it from there on.
To use
They
that,
work on their budget next year. This is a non-budget year, so there's no money.
You think we could get the city to take part in helping us next year? If we're gonna make a commitment to go?
We can ask, but I doubt if we get.
wasn't the deal on that 35,000, we as measures had to agree to replace that if that ever came up. So there'd be a little deal on that 35,000.
There's a snap, yeah.
But I guess the thing that we read about in the paper every so often, well, they're turning their lights off next week. You know, and that's the only thing that I challenge or just talk with you all about is let's stop that. You know, let's just, you know, stand together, we're gonna get you to July 1.
Tommy says $10,000 will probably get us to July 1, if they really cut
That's not a
back
problem.
much.
Are they
Oh.
willing to extend their date if we give them the money?
Pardon?
Are they willing to extend that date if we give them the money?
Well, it gives them, yes, it gives them time to get their house in order. Because we're just looking, it's somewhere between 6,000 and up to 12 to 15,000, to be honest, in addition to what we've already given them. And the only thing that helps them, that calms loved ones down, is they're not having to look next Monday or take one.
So will 10,000 get them to the 1st of July?
Well, that just depends, like Dan said,
On what they do that
each month they spend extra money, but if we would say, hey, you're gonna have to really cut back and just do what you gotta have. That was almost 7,000, that coal service was 6800.
Yes.
So that'd been 17,000. Okay, we first said 20. I mean, and he thinks if we come up with 10,000 that we could carry them on, that they could tighten their belt up and make it till July on 10 more thousand.
We can do that.
And then we can work on July's budget.
Then we'll start, yes, because we're now, as the old adage says, forewarned is forearmed. And now that we know that they're gonna be in this situation, it will allow us to prepare for next year. And that way we don't have to go through every other month we're shutting our doors.
Got to be cut somewhere to come up with that though, right?
For next year?
Next year.
Yes, but also too, if we have the LGED money, then we will also, that will basically show us a break also. But it will also, we're still gonna have to tighten our belts. You know, we know that fund is always, the LGEA fund is always being cut. Always.
Year's cut.
Every year it's cut, and they've already said, let's look at 10% this year,
Let's get them
to this year.
July, okay, with 10 or 15,000, whatever they might need, and then work on it in their budget for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Tommy can help us in the future from the state to continue. 'Cause we need this.
Let's get a motion that says up to $15,000.
Motion.
I wouldn't put them out on it. I'd be afraid, I mean, because
Gaps what you're after.
I don't want it I don't want us to stop at 15 if,
Well, we can revisit if we see. I mean, we
okay.
can bring it back if we see.
Yeah, we can
On the
bring
other
it back
hand,
to
I mean,
give
if
them
you give them 20, they're gonna spend 20.
Right, it's actually a gap, it's a monthly gap, that's the form of the motion that it needs to be to fulfill the gap each month of what they need to get them through to July 1.
instead of basically giving them one lump sum, here is $15,000.
Right.
Help them bridge that gap.
And that's probably a very, very smart idea.
So the motion's gonna be to get them through to July.
Up to 15,000 right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them up to 15,000.
So,
Do we have their, monthly expenditures and income and outgo? Because that would be something that really needs to be visited.
we've got a copy of that, and I can get a current copy.
Okay, well, we need, I mean, if we are going to take this on, this responsibility on, I think it's only right for our taxpayers that, to know where the money is being spent, so that, we have an idea that it's not just, like Mike said, you know, if you give somebody 20,000, they're gonna spend 20 or 22.
Give me 20, I'm gonna spend it all.
And 5 more.
Make a motion that up to 15. Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Yes.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. I know the community thanks you. It's just something we've been needing to deal with and try to help.
And we're gonna look for Tommy to help us on the next year then?
Yeah.
When they do their budget, he says he can help us on the funding then. Right now is a non-budget year, so this next year from July to July, he says he can't help much. I mean, he'll try, but there's no
The
money.
coal money is gonna be the biggest help.
It's already distributed out.
Yeah, but that coal money that he's gonna allow to be redistributed.
And you
Correct.
Distribute that coal money. And he was gonna meet with Rick Girdler today or tomorrow up there in Frankfurt.
Okay.
Rick was all right with redistributing that coal money for next year.
Correct, because it has to go to every
Has to go,
representative
that's right.
that touches Pulaski.
But then it would have to be all right with us. Then he wants to meet with a couple of us next week, maybe Thursday next week.
Let's move on from that. Thank you all for allowing me to break the agenda there and talk about that. Next item on the agenda then will be application to apply for a justice assistance grant for the jail, and Leslie has some information on that.
Major Swartz approached me with a grant opportunity. It's called a Justice Assistance Grant, and it's they'll give us 75%, and then we just have to match the 25. And if it's possible, they would like to use this grant to purchase tasers to replace ones that are starting to malfunction, body cameras, and practice ammunition.
I don't know why the jail would need body cameras, but
What do they need
tasers.
ammunition for?
Is there a match
It's
on?
practice ammunition.
Is this a matching grant, or is this a?
Yep,
100%?
it's a 75-25. Well, they will match 25 out of their fund.
Will this 25% come from within, or will that have to come from us?
They had said it. I asked them yesterday, and they said that it would come from within their fund. So I'm asking for permission now because the deadline is April the 3rd to apply for it, and I'm still waiting for an email back from somebody in Frankfurt to make sure that these purchases would be allowed within the grant. So.
Hate to turn down grant money, but I don't know that they need it.
I don't know what they need ammunition for.
If it's plastic ammo, they can probably reuse that over and over instead of having to use live ammunition.
Yeah, one of the quotes is called Hydroshock ammo. It's I guess Smith & Wesson Hydroshock ammo,
Not plastic.
and bullets. That's the quotes I got.
Where is the jailer or whoever's wanting to apply for this grant?
I know Major Swartz is sick. I know he's been really under the weather. I haven't seen anybody else today though.
I ain't for it. I don't know about anybody else. Do whatever you want to do.
We'll let that die then for lack of a motion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda then would be veterans parking at the courthouse, and many of y'all may know that our judicial center has recently assigned 2 spots for veteran parking, and I think the city of Somerset also did 2 spots for veteran parking, and I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, to let us designate 2 spots here to have parking lot for veteran parking as well.
Absolutely. Take care of the veterans. They take care of us.
Motion.
Need a motion, huh? A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed? Thank you all very much. All right, well, let's bring our bid committee back up, if we would. Did you have, did y'all look at the specs there? Stacy, you want to address that?
We looked over the specs and everything met the specifications, and I think I told you all that we expect the bid to come in between 40 and 45,000 last court meeting, which was 38,000, so it's less than what we expected. So I
Had
just
that
asked,
budgeted already, didn't you?
yeah, we've already had it budgeted. I just asked the court to accept that bid, so we
Motion
can
to
move
accept
forward.
it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. While you're up here, if you
Thank
want to go ahead and give your, do you have a department report, anything you need to?
I don't have anything to report right now, Judge. Thank you.
With us today, or you have something to say to us? Appreciate you being a part of this with us.
That's what you do. You do what your boss tells you. There you go.
Did an awesome job, Major.
Don't have a representative from June here, so let's go to our coroner, Strunk. Major Hancock, we didn't make you come to the podium to say that, but normally we would.
I can do that. Everybody's talking about money, so let me talk about money for a minute. Just got a memorandum down from our ME's office yesterday. The state is going to cut back on the funding of drug testing, of blood work. It costs $175 to do a drug abuse panel test. They have told all the coroners of all 120 counties that they're going to drastically cut that. Very few tox is going to be paid for by the state from here on out. And so that's going to really affect, we're all aware of our drug abuse. We're all aware of the federal grants now and the federal funding of trying to prosecute drug dealers. And so just wanted to share with you that, you know, that if our agencies are going to continue to ask our office and my staff to supply them the toxicology reports for the deaths in our county, which we've already did 114 as of this morning, this year, then we're probably going to need some funding from our county to do the tox reports, the tox $175 per blood test. So we've had 114th death investigation. Doesn't mean that all of those were drugs, but well, just
How many of them did you do the tox
Test, yeah.
probably 75%.
Is that up on request, Clyde, or is that just something you do?
Well, it's up on just doing the investigation. For example, the car wreck in our county, the tragic accident Sunday evening. Because we're expecting litigation, we sent her for an autopsy and to have drug testing to make sure to see what was going on in her system. And so it's going to be a big deal if they do continue this. I don't know how long the state's gonna, I don't know what they're doing in their budget, but it seems as if they are saying to us, you're going to do more of your investigating. We're not going to take care of it. We're having a harder time getting autopsies done, and now it seems we're going to have a harder time even getting them to take care of doing our tox reports. And so, it just letting you know that.
Everything comes back to the county.
So eventually, probably, you know, if we do our job and do it adequately, our budget's going to go out the roof. So just letting you know.
Are they completely cutting it off from the state, Clyde, or just part of it?
No, not all. Dr. Ralston is the new ME, came in January 1. And he was one of the MEs, now he's the chief medical examiner. And no doubt he's cutting his budget, and this is probably one way they're doing that. And the medical examiners make $120,000 a year in the state of Kentucky. The northern office just now got an ME, and they've been out of an ME in the northern office for over a year because they could go right across the river into Ohio and get $140,000 to $145,000 a year starting out. So I think they're taking some of this funding and bumping the pay raises up for the MEs to staff all of our offices, which Western Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Frankfort, and Louisville. So that's where we're at. So
How long are you good for?
do what?
How long before they shut your money off? July 1?
It's already done. They said no more blood testing until we have to get permission now from Dr. Ralston before we do any tox reports. So
That's what he's asking, when they're gonna start charging you.
unless he approves it today, if I get one I have to send today, unless I call Dr. Ralston and he approves it and I send it, then I have to pay for it.
There's no money in your budget for that, so we'll have to come up with it.
If he approves it, then he pays for it.
If he approves it, then the state pays for it. In other words, we picked up one last night, a meth overdose out of McQuarrie County that was brought into our hospital. It was a meth overdose. We pretty well assured that. I called him and told him the situation. He said, go ahead and send it, we'll take care of it. So it's one of those deals where it's gonna be case by case.
Lovely.
Fine. Linda, do you have anything else? I know we already. Road Department then, Jordan, do you have something for us today?
The only thing I have today, Judge, is just the approval of your road work.
Motion.
Somebody had a road sign, didn't they? Or speed sign?
Second on the road request.
See it, whenever it didn't.
That's all.
All you got today? I wanted to point out too, in case you all noticed, we've been filling in that parking lot now for how many years?
Yeah.
We're starting to address it this week, so hopefully that front part will be finished. We'll be able to get that cleaned up and it'll look nice over there. So it's been a long time coming. Thank you all for your hard work.
Already looks a lot better just where they dressed that one corner.
Next, then will be 911. Aaron, did you have anything today?
With all the sickness going around, 911, we work in a room, we get hit pretty hard with it. I'd like to ask the court permission to hire 2 for part-time on an as-needed basis. The first one's gonna be Joshua Parsons. He's a certified dispatcher, lives in the county. And the second one's a Ben Burton. He's also certified, lives in the county. He did work at 911 and went a different avenue. He's wanting to come back for part-time.
Them both at the same time or one at?
I think we can.
Both same
We can do both same time.
Second.
Motion and second then for part-time help to be hired. Any further discussions? All in favor?
No.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you, guys.
Carries. Solid waste. Danny, I think I saw it. Adam, with animal shelter, anything?
Nothing nice, sir, thank you.
Got no good beagles over there, do you?
Sorry, not this time.
Treasurer, Joan, welcome back. Joan had some surgery this week. She's been out, so it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Have anything for us today?
I do. The first thing I have for your approval would be this month's bill list, our claims list.
John, there's a couple of things on that bill list that I don't want to approve.
Okay.
One of them is $7,980 for 12 guns. Another one is $1,147 for ammunition. And another one is for $1,000 for guns again.
Okay.
Okay? Outside that, I'm okay with the budget.
Make a motion to approve the bill list other than that.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second then. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Did you get that motion?
The second thing I have is the February bank reconciliation.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second to accept the bank reconciliation. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The only other thing is next week, I will be in Paducah attending the Treasurers Association meeting, and where I'll be sworn in as president.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome, yeah,
Thank you.
Ms. President.
That's all I have.
Yeah, okay.
Have a conference here next year, right?
I've got
Yes.
one more item that, I'm about to overlook here, but we've got somebody has applied to be able to be a electrical inspector here in Pulaski County. I know we spoke about that last meeting. And today I've got, Mr. Wayne Rice, have copies of that in your folder. Okay, he's got a certificate from Department of Kentucky, that he's certified. And let's see, he's got his insurance policy presented there. And he's got a copy of his electrical inspection certification. So he's requested to participate in our electrical inspection according to our fees by ordinance.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on Mr. Rice? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else from you gentlemen today? If not, we'll demand a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.